It was bad. So I went to the office. I presented the document to him, trying to present the report. Telling him this is this and this is what I've been told. He just looked at me, took the document, tore it, and threw it at me.
Wow.
That is what he did.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Love Matters podcast. I'm your host, Joel Akeo. And this is the only podcast where we get to put the sexual and reproductive health and rights of all young people on the limelight, and we have real conversations about real young people facing real problems, and we try and find real solutions. That real problem. Say it out loud 3 times very quickly. Anyway, today in studio, we have a very dear friend of mine, and I'm not going to introduce herself. She's going to tell us who she is, what she does, where she's from, and then we're going to jump right into the conversation. Hi, Maud.
Hi, Roel. I missed that name, by the way. My name is Sinida. I was a finance major in campus, but I kind of cycled towards being a junior HR. That is what I used to do before my contract ended with my previous company. I used to be a junior HR.
Junior HR?
Yeah.
Maybe a podcaster too, but oh well, cousin, right? Thank you so much and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And today we do have Sinida with us because Sinida has a really, really impressive, story of resilience in the workspaces. And it's high time we start talking about toxic work environments and how it affects us as young people and how best we can be able to overcome and achieve toxic working environments. So my dear sweetheart, I can call you sweetheart, right? That's because the consent muhimu, right? Yeah. So sweetheart bila consent. Yeah. How's your working experience like as a young person?
Let me first start by saying that a toxic work environment it's a kind of environment that has negative culture. Yeah. And when I finished campus, just before I graduated, you know, you always want to have that experience. I mean, you want to have that experience before you go out into the real life. And also, that time when you're applying for a job, they always tell you that you have to have some sort of experience before they actually hire you.
They ask for 8 years and it's an entry level.
That makes me wonder too. Hata mi huwa nashangaa mpaka wale. I wonder why they ask you, it's an entry level job, but when you check the job description,
you need a PhD.
Yes, a PhD.
8 years. Oh, this and that. Nobody got time for that.
Yeah, so I was lucky. Before I graduated, I was able to apply for a job with a certain company that I won't mention the name.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I went for my interview. It's actually the boss, the owner of the company is the one who interviewed me. So he took me on a business lunch.
That was pressure, right?
It was, let me tell you, there's one thing my dad used to tell me. You have to be very specific about foods that you pick during a business lunch.
Yeah.
You just can't go on choosing anything.
Chipo, kilasa, chips kuku.
He told me that's also a mark during an interview. So he took me on a business lunch. And then we did the interview.
What food do we have for us who are watching?
Are you consulting me as a HR?
My lord!
You have to, let's just say, pick foods that are easiest to eat with the cutlery.
Yeah.
It depends on the person you're dining with.
Yeah.
Table manners really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you're taught growing up, it really matters.
What did you have?
I had rice and lamb chops for lunch. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, we did the interview first and then we ate after. And immediately we were done with lunch, he offered me the job. Like I got the job instantly.
Yeah.
I went to the interview with my portfolio. I had my files, everything on what. So as we were eating, he was just going through them. And then when he was done, he just told me that I got the job. And he told me that I was supposed to report like the following week. Around date 15. He wanted me to start at the middle of the month. You know how salary works. Yeah, so I think he just wanted to be precise about the amount that I was supposed to be paid at that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, when that day came, going to job, of course, I went to my workplace. I was supposed to report at 8:30 that day. And let me tell you, the person that I saw during the business lunch was totally different from the person I found in the office. It's the same boss, but his attitude was kind of different.
Yeah.
So I was there. I was the first person to arrive at the office that day. You know, you have to be early, you know, it's your first day at work.
Gotta kiss us a
and then
little
it was my first corporate job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was so excited about it. I had done my nails, done my hair, put on that bust suit. I'd even gotten a new suit for,
Ish.
Yeah, I just wanted my day to be good. Yani kuanzia kwa nyumba all the way to the office.
Yeah.
So I arrive at the office, he tells me to wait at the door, which I do. In the meantime, he tells me to log into the Wi-Fi, Yeah, just to be able to download the software that we were using to communicate on my phone first. It was supposed to be synced together with the laptop. Yeah, but I wasn't yet given the laptop. So wakati niko kwa process ya kuweka that nini, first of all he sees me. I don't know whether he just hated me from that moment. I don't know what happened, to be honest. Because the minute the invite code that he had sent me that I was supposed to log in with, it was in a different language. I won't be specific about it, but it was a different language. It wasn't English.
Hizo languages.
Zilikuanga different. Sasa it was not English, so I had to ask him, sir, can you please show me the invite code kwa his statement yote iko wapi? Then he starts going off. He just snapped at me, like at that moment. He just snapped na akaanza to go all about, first of all, I don't like your nails. They're too long. I don't know what. And let me tell you, they were just the same height as this one.
Yeah. And they're not long. These are workable nails.
I know. He just went off akaanza kuingililia nails zangu. And then from there, started talking about the font on my phone. Saying that...
Font?
Yes, the font on my phone. He just went off. I don't know what happened that day. Yani, it was... Sikuwahi kuanza vizuri. And I was like, oh God. This is my first day. What happened to my boss? This is not the same guy I knew the other day. So nikanyamaza tu, nikafanya kila kitu alikuwa aniambia. And then I relaxed. He told me to wait. He told me to wait again for around 10 ikifika hapo hivyo, then he'll do like a general orientation to introduce me to the other people as the junior HR, Yeah, I was supposed to be handling needs of the juniors kwa ofisi, and then if there's something huge, you just report to the HR specialist. Exactly. So mimi niko hapo hivyo na endelea kulearn hiyo system. Pia alikuwa ameshaniambia. I downloaded that app to my phone and everything. So wakati meeting ilifika, let me tell you, that company liliona favorism from the first day, na nilijua haitakuwa poa because I would say that toxic work environment it can be created by conflict between the employees and the shareholders, ama between employees na employee, staff na staff, ama staff na the senior people, right? So wakati it was between the staff, I sensed like there was already some bad energy because there's this person that was assigned to me when alikuwa nafaa kunifanyia orientation, showing me around the office and everything, where to get what, who to ask this and that. It's my first week, of course. I have to learn the way around the office. But now this lady is giving me some sort of attitude. Ashaanza unajua, it's like she was already feeling like I'm replacing her or something. But later I came to find out that they had a thing with the
That's juicy.
That's another thing. That's another thing that creates conflicts in an office. So far, this lady is already feeling like ni kama nikikuja, I'll be the new I'll be the new favorite to the boss. You get me? I see this lady has come here. She has all her papers. Nini. She's all dressed up. Amekuja mapema. Ikaanza kuwa like an issue from the word go. Like every time at a boss, like when you're first employed, lazima uwekwe kwa probation. And when you're under probation, you can be exposed to different departments. Through different departments so that you can learn all about it. Unanipata? So the time that I was put in her department, ilikuwa mbaya because she was alikuanga kwa marketing. I want to be specific. Alikuanga kwa marketing. She was the head hapo hivyo kwa marketing. So we are there. There's a day we were just there, and then the boss, wakiwa na conflict na boss alikuwa anapenda kufanya this thing where he takes the job of that lady and gives it to me. That is what he used to do. I don't know why he used to do that. Kwa sababu the moment anafanya hivyo unaona sasa inakuwa something bad in the inakuwa so toxic because now this lady, she was very outspoken, let me say that. Alikuwa, she used to say things like hata anaweza curse at the boss and stuff. Yes, it was that bad.
She has that authority.
I'm telling you. I don't know whether our parents used to do that. But nowadays, the young people, they can actually talk back to the boss. I don't know how she used to do that. Alikonga ana question boss. Anaanza kumgombanisha, telling him about, this is my job and what and what. Why are you giving Sinida this job? Nini. But the boss she's under probation. She has to learn from every department. But in as much as that was true, the fact is, boss alikuwa anapendanga tu ku create your conflict. Kwa sababu he only did that every time he had a problem with that lead. Yeah. I never really appreciated that. Yeah, it was a very toxic work environment.
Yeah.
And also that lady pia, every time she used to feel threatened by me, anza tu kuongea hapo hivyo kwa ofisi, ama she starts making calls towards her friends na her family, telling her this bitch who has been brought to the workplace and she's trying to take over my job. When the boss tells her to jump, she asks how high. She doesn't ask why. She asks, how high should I jump? And it's just trashing me when I'm nasikia. It's an open office. Yeah. So you can literally hear her over the phone akisema hizo vitu na marafiki zake. So it was bad. It used to go on for months and months.
How did that make you feel?
I felt uncomfortable.
It's your first job, right?
Yes.
Your first job, first setting. How did that make you feel?
I was so uncomfortable. Let me tell you, I felt like quitting my job within the first 2 weeks. Yeah, it was that bad. Because from the first day, I was feeling unwelcomed. And that is not really right. And also another thing that can bring about a toxic work environment is when the work that you're told, like when you applied for a job, you know you have the job description. There's the responsibilities that you're supposed to tackle once you're given the assignment, right? And then when you're at the workplace, unapata the job description may change. What you were told you're supposed to do is not what you actually end up doing. Now that is also something that brings up conflicts. Because some people wanna feel like you're meddling in the I'm supposed to be doing this, and also it feels like it's competition. Ni kama wameweka against each other. Whoever performs the best maybe is the one who will end up with that a promotion or something. So pia the job description, the work that I was supposed to be doing is not exactly what I ended up doing. I don't know whether it's because it was a startup or what. But that is not what I ended up doing. Nilianza kufanya other things. Yeah. And then, unfortunately, the lady ended up alipata greener pastures. Unfortunately, unfortunately. It was...
Well, screw her wherever she is.
Let's say, fortunately for her, she got greener pastures and she moved to another company.
So was that your motivation to stay?
Yeah, that was one of the motivation to stay. I thought
but
actually
you still have the boss.
Let me tell you, that is where I was going. That is where I was headed. Sasa mimi, when that lady left, I actually thought that things are going to be better. You know? The one person mwenye alikuwa anapenda kustop chaos in the office is gone. Because everyone else alikuwa tu amenyamaza. Kila mtu alikuwa ametulia. We used to have people in the office and other people in the field, right? Kila mtu alikuwa too humble and down to earth. Ukipatiwa your share na boss, when he snaps at you, you just take it like a lady and relax.
Nobody got time for that.
I tell you, it was bad. And I'm telling you, when he snaps, it was not bad. It was that bad. Because he will even cuss at you, like tell you, fuck you. I remember there was one time...
Like, you don't pay me enough for this.
There's one time, one of our field agents lost their phone.
Work phone?
No, just their personal
phone.
You know, in the field, you're supposed to be constantly communicating. And also that app that I was telling you that was like a communication tool kwa office, sindio? Sasa alipotezanga simu yake, alisahau kwa gari, and then the following day when he came to work, the boss was like, why didn't you clock out yesterday? You know, but then there was a penalty for not clocking out.
Lord have mercy.
Late clocking, not clock out, there was a penalty for that.
At this point, we should just name this corporate. Because...
Do you want him to show up at my doorstep tonight?
I mean, if you're lying, he has no problems. But if it's the truth, let's crucify a person.
I really hope he listens to this so that he can change. I'm doing this for him. So this boss just snaps at that guy. Then the guy just came and presented his case and told him, boss, this and this is what happened. Yeah, it happens. This is something that happens. And then he just went, fuck you. He didn't even care. And in the office, like, we had extra phones for that were being used. Extra work phones, because our company was kind of a software company. So we had such things in the office. Instead of assisting, he goes on cussing. And I was like, okay.
That man needed a lot of therapy.
I was like, okay, I'm also supposed to be a HR. Remember that. So he cussed at him, but the guy ended up getting another phone. Akaendelea kufanya kazi. But at this point, I'm wondering, God, am I at the right place? This place is going to mess up with me.
And it's your first time.
And it's my first time. And another thing, growing up, I was the kind of lady mwenye alikuanga disciplined. I don't know whether you remember that. My peers used to love me. My teachers used to love me. Grown-ups used to love me. And then, when I was in campus, grown-ups used to love me too. And then I'm here, niko hapa hivi sasa in this office for the first time in a corporate job. And then my boss hates me and I don't know nimefanya nini to deserve that. And niko hapo hivyo nimejituma. I'm doing the work he's giving me. I'm taking the bullshit from the lady, taking his bullshit. I'm still doing, like I was doing almost close to 80% of the work kwa company, but this guy never appreciates.
Did you at some point find support from your co-workers?
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
The young ones, no.
No.
The best they could do, just like in every other work environment.
Be quiet.
They were quiet, but then the minute they step out of the door, that's when they are vocal.
The FUs.
Imagine. Ati kwani leo boss la amekwaje? Sijui nini. Today he has been causing chaos in the office. Sijui nini. But when in the office, nobody wants to stand
doing
up.
what's paying them.
Yeah. People are actually scared of standing up to him because of the way he used to snap.
Did you ever stand
people.
up to him?
The day I quit.
What happened?
It was one of the worst days of my life.
Uh-huh.
So, it's salary week, right?
Ooh, everyone loves that.
Everyone loves salary week. Everyone. No matter how bad the job is. Yes, no matter how bad the job is.
That money is worth it.
I mean, capitalism. I mean, we have to do this. So it's salary week.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who was in charge of handling the payroll and the statutory deductions. Usually, akina NHIF, NSSF, PE, housing levy, all those things that are usually deducted from the salary for the government's sake. So salo imefika, I've already prepared the payroll. Nimeshafanya payments, right?
Yeah.
As in salary imeshalipo kwa nini? Kwa the staff.
Yeah.
So kenye imebaki ni, I'm supposed to go and file the statutory deductions before date 9. It's supposed to be done every month before date 9. Yeah. So that you guys are not ended up fined by the government and stuff.
Yeah.
So me, I've gone.
And even after finding us, you still fine us for free. Anyways.
So what happens? I'm supposed to go and file. I used to, like, if the salary is paid today, the following day, that's when I used to go and file those deductions.
Yeah.
Because I had already prepared the necessary documents and stuff.
Yeah.
All I have to do is just to go and file them. So there I am, nimefile NHIF, everything else, and then I came back to the office.
Yeah.
And then one of the employees approaches me and tells me, hi, Sinida, I'm supposed to have a dental appointment over the weekend because let's say they had paid the salary on Tuesday. So he had a tooth problem. And then he tells me that he has a dental appointment over the weekend. And when he checks his NHIF, because he wanted to use his NHIF, when he checks his NHIF, he finds that
it's not up to date.
They have not reflected. He has been paying, like, umekuwa ukikatwa salary. You know how painful that is. Umekuwa ukikatwa salary every month. You're supposed to go to NHIF.
Nah,
but
I reflect.
Yeah, the minute you go to your employee portal of NHIF, you see that the payments have not yet reflected. Yeah. So he of course, he has to approach me because I'm the one who is responsible for that.
Junior HR.
Yeah. Then he tells me his situation. He tells me that, I've been making the payments. You know that very well, but they're not reflecting, so I cannot be able to get any medical attention without that. And then I tell him, it's okay, I will go and solve that. Yeah. So the following, that day I approached my boss because I used to run errands. I used to get some time off the office just to go and run errands and what. So I approached my boss and tell him that this and this is happening. There's an employee who has approached me, told me that he has a problem with his portal, and I want to go and solve it for him. I want to see why he cannot be able to access his, his NHIF. Yeah. And he said, okay. So, and I went the following day. So I went the following day. I went and presented my case. But unfortunately, the person, the client relationship manager who was handling our company and NHIF, the channel, the middleman. Okay. The middleman between. Unfortunately, he had been told.
Sacked.
Yeah. Not really sacked, but it's more of redundancy. Walikuwa metolewa. There was a time that NHF ilikuwa wana reduce employees. Yeah. So unfortunately, I think he was one of them. So the person that I found there, akaniambia, he told me to just leave him with the documents. And I presented my case to him, and then he told me that he'll need some time to catch up with whatever was happening in the company. So I should give him that day, and I should come the following day. He gave me an appointment for 9 a.m. in short, the following day. So I went back to the office, gave my boss the report, and then I told him that I have to be at NHF the following day. So the following day reaches. We are supposed to clock in at work at 8:30, right? But my appointment is at 9 a.m.
So you can't make it both ways. You went to the bank.
Actually, no. I went to the office because I don't want to be penalized for not clocking in on time.
That's irony.
Yeah, it was that bad. I mean, it's a corporate job. It's my first job. I also need the money. Remember, I'm just starting off life. I have
You're
things
young,
to
babes.
do. Yes, and I'm single too. So I needed the money. You get me? So I went to the office, clocked in, got the documents, made some copies, and also he had asked me to come with something else. He had told me to come with some previous slips for NHIF from the previous filings, you get me? So I went with them, I photocopied them, everything that was needed, and I went for the appointment at 9 a.m. So when I got there, of course, you know, government offices, there was some delay and what, I had to wait for him. He gave me an appointment for 9 a.m., but he ended up arriving at 10 a.m.
Bastard.
Yeah, I had to wait for him for around 1 hour, and after that, when he finally saw me, he kept me waiting for 4 hours because there's a document that he had to process. So, in short, the problem was our portal was not yet activated because there was some, you know, our company was a startup. And by the time we started paying the statutory deductions, there was some time that had lapsed between when it was started and when we started paying those deductions. You get me? So he told me that there were some penalties, and that's why our portal had been deactivated. And he told me for the portal to be activated, those penalties have to be paid. And after they have been paid, it will be activated, and then the payments will finally reflect. It gave me that government document, explained everything to me, what. Just the way that I was supposed to go and explain to the boss. So let me tell you, let's say I think it was like 5 hours later now, because there's that 1 hour that I waited for him and 4 hours for processing the document.
The boss just sees you and is so mental at this point.
He snapped at me. I went to the office. It was bad. So I went to the office, I presented the document to him, trying to present the report. Telling him this is this and this and this is what I've been told. He just looked at me, took the document, tore it, and threw it at me.
Wow.
That is what he did. Yeah, he did that to me, and then he started going off about that I'm liaising with people from NHIF to steal from him. Well, he starts asking me for money. He's like, okay, give me 100,000. Give me 200,000. And I'm like, why? And he's like, that is the same thing that you're doing to me here. You're asking me to pay for money that I don't know where it's coming from. And I'm like, sir, it's a regulation in Kenya. From the moment you start a company, you're supposed to make sure all these things are available. These things are paid for. It's not my fault. I'm just a messenger. So he ends up prosecuting the messenger of bad news. I was just a messenger of bad news.
You don't kill a messenger.
Yeah, he was trying to prosecute me for that. So after that, I just couldn't take it anymore because it wasn't the first time he was doing this to me. And the worst part is that he used to do this to me only. I was the one who was always carrying all the blame games. They were being aimed at me. I never used to like that. Sijui mbona he used to do that. And there was some sort of favorism towards the guys in the same company. It was just toxic. It was just a toxic. Kulikuwa na favorism. There was the bullying. There was the constant blames and what.
They're not appreciating of the work that you do, right?
So I ended up saying like,
that's not right.
This is not right.
That's when you quit.
That is when I decided to quit. It was on a Friday that day, I remember. After he tore my documents and started snapping at me, going on about how I want to steal from him, what. I just asked him, sir, I have worked for you for an year now. But that time when I decided to quit, ilikuwa imefika mwaka moja. Sasa hiyo Friday ndo ilikuwa imefika mwaka moja. Kambia, I've been with you for 1 year now. I've been working as your HR and also your personal assistant at times. Because, you know, when he needed to travel, I'm the one who used to prepare the travel itineraries and what. Ndo nilikuwa nakwambia job description nilipatiwa is different from what I was doing there, because even though sometimes I used to work as an admin. I don't know whether this happens to all startup companies.
I think maybe it's just that one.
It was just that one.
Maybe,
you used to, you know, you're juggling responsibilities here and there, here and there. Like you're not doing one thing.
So now when we're coming to a close, right? And this is, sorry to say, it's a very terrible thing that happened to you, right? And maybe we also have young budding career babes out here who are trying to get into the sport. What's that one thing you would tell them and one thing you would wish was done better?
Okay.
As a young girl, young babes starting out, even in corporate, I know maybe it also targets on entrepreneurship, that's different, but because you've had your hand in corporate. What are the one thing you can tell that babe coming to corporate and the one thing you wish would have been done better while you were at your job?
One thing I can tell my corporate babes is you should learn how to stand up for yourself. That is one thing that I wished I had done when I was from the first day. Like the first day when that boss snapped at me for having long nails, same size as this ones, I should have stood up for myself and actually said something. Because the moment he realized that I was the quiet kind, the person who just takes it all in and just keeps quiet about it, he kept doing it over and over and over. Anytime anything goes wrong in the company, it's me. Anytime it goes wrong, it's me. Even when, maybe, let's say, for example, it's some... And remember, I am a junior HR. He ends up even snapping at me in front of everyone. So if there's something that I would have changed, I will say it's standing up for myself. So that is what I can advise corporate buddies going into the corporate world right now. Yeah, they should learn how to stand up for themselves. And also, they should try to look at conflicts from a positive point of view. I know how it sounds, but try to look at conflicts from a positive side, point of view. Sorry. Yeah. So, for example, if a boss snap at you, right? Just ama mkona, let's say you have some problem with your fellow employees, kama that lady.
Yeah.
I would say like najua ningechukulia more of a positive competition. I wish I had went to that. Like, for example, the way she was heading marketing, she used to do promotion sometimes. Na nikikwambia that the boss akikosa na yeye alikuwa anachukua the job ananipatia, maybe I would have proposed something like, how about we handle different teams? Let her handle her team, and so as I handle my own team, like mimi nikuwa in my own team, and with her own team. Yeah. And then at the end of the month tunaweza assess performance and we to angalia where we can areas of improvement nini that ends up pushing the company ahead. Instead of kubishana, don't try kuweka the other person down, because at the end of the day the boss is not really your friend. That's the truth. Because kukiwa na redundancy, mtafutwa nyinyi wote muende. Hiyo ni ukweli. And let me tell you, the minute you stop working for that company, life still continues. Kisema hiyo company itaenda chini, kama vile unasemanga, kama vile mkibreak up na mtu unaweza kusema, he will remember me, I don't know what. Let me tell you, life goes on. Life itasonga. Wataenda waandike watu wengine na kampuni itasonga mbele. So you should just learn how to stand up for yourself and sometimes approach conflict from a positive point of view. You get me? Yeah. You had asked me another question. What is it?
What you wish would have been done better in the workplace?
To be honest, for that company, I can't be specific about it because it was a startup and the biggest boss alikuanga the owner.
But it's not an excuse whether it's a startup or not. Company is a company.
If it is a private company, sometimes, let me tell you...
What would you like? There's that maybe one thing in your head that you said, this needs to change. Like, this is a terrible working culture and maybe this needs to change. Maybe that one thing as we wind up.
I would like to say that I wish the boss was more perceptive. I wish he used to listen to the needs of the people in the company, because he never really cared about what was going on with the employees. Like, for example, when that guy, he lost the phone, and then he just ended up cursing at him. You see, that's not solving. That is not helping. He should try to be more of a problem solver than a blamer, than a bully, because he was a bully. So he should try and listen to people. So I would advise owners of these companies or the bigger shareholders or whatever, they should try and listen to people at the bottom of the company, because these are the people who are actually making the company perform. These are the people who are yielding outputs for the company. So if you don't listen to them, how will you solve problems in the company? How will people present a problem in the company? Because if I see a problem, like for example, the way the employee approached me and told me that I cannot be able to get medical attention because of my NHIF. What you would have done is to try and understand why the portal was deactivated, why we have so much penalties. Try and find a way whether if we can get a waiver from NHIF, you see, and try and solve that problem instead of tearing the document, throwing it at me, making me quit, and you know that the following month you're supposed to file the same things. You get me? So it's bad.
Well, his loss, not yours. I mean, you're living your best life, looking so beautiful at this time. And have you experienced a toxic work environment? How has that looked like? What did you do and how did you rise from it? That's all we had for you today in studio, and with the lovely Sinida here. And so if you have, corporate babes, she's your go-to junior HR. All right. And so with us, do leave a like, a follow, a comment, and a share. into our content, because by you subscribing and following our work, it makes it meaningful to all young people who get to enjoy, and we reach a wider audience by the work that we do and the feedback and the support that you give us. So until next week, goodbye, Kwaheri, adios, and obrigada. Ciao.
Thank you.
Love Matters. Open, honest, sex friendly.